The envelope rested quietly on the polished oak dining table as Olivia Bennet watched her husband Ethan struggle to hide the excitement sparkling behind his carefully rehearsed expression of concern. Beside him sat Vanessa Cole, a confident marketing consultant who casually admired every elegant detail of the countryside villa, unaware that the beauty surrounding her had been built almost entirely through Olivia's years of dedication, creativity, and financial sacrifice. "I suppose you're really walking away from all of this?" Ethan asked, pretending to sound heartbroken while tightening his grip around Vanessa's hand, and Olivia answered with remarkable calm that she intended to leave with everything that legally belonged to her and nothing that did not. Vanessa smiled as she admired the handcrafted furniture, imported lighting fixtures, and tasteful artwork decorating every room, whispering that she had never imagined Ethan owned such an extraordinary home and that living there would feel like stepping into a luxury magazine. Olivia simply nodded without correcting their assumptions, because every receipt, contract, design sketch, and payment record had already been carefully organized inside a secure folder, waiting for the right moment to reveal the truth. Although Ethan had inherited the aging villa from his late uncle years before their marriage, the property had originally been little more than cracked walls, faded paint, outdated plumbing, and mismatched furniture until Olivia transformed it through countless sleepless nights and years of disciplined saving. As the owner of a respected architectural restoration studio, Olivia possessed an extraordinary talent for bringing neglected properties back to life, and every improvement inside the villa reflected her professional vision, rather than Ethan's imagination. She invested her earnings into custom cabinetry, restored hardwood floors, handcrafted decor, elegant chandeliers, and carefully selected antiques that blended timeless elegance with modern comfort, creating a home admired by everyone who visited. Unfortunately, while Olivia poured her heart into building a beautiful future, Ethan gradually became distracted by admiration from strangers and the shallow excitement of constant attention, leaving their marriage weakened by broken promises and emotional distance. The painful truth finally surfaced when Olivia accidentally discovered months of secret messages between Ethan and Vanessa discussing expensive vacations, romantic weekends, and their dreams of enjoying the luxurious home once Olivia was no longer part of the picture. Instead of confronting them immediately, Olivia quietly gathered every document proving ownership of her purchases while consulting an experienced attorney who assured her that the law fully protected every item she had personally paid for during the marriage. By the time she finally invited Ethan and Vanessa to meet together inside the elegant villa, Vanessa walked confidently from room to room, admiring the elegant library, the handcrafted staircase, and the sunlit conservatory while enthusiastically describing where she planned to place her own photographs and decorations. Convinced she would soon become the lady of the villa, Olivia listened quietly with a composed smile, allowing every assumption to unfold naturally, because she knew the truth would carry far greater weight than any argument she could make that afternoon. The following morning, 3 moving trucks arrived through the front gates accompanied by a team of professional movers who greeted Olivia warmly, already carrying a detailed inventory that listed every item they had been hired to collect. Ethan stepped outside wearing a puzzled expression that quickly turned into alarm as workers carefully wrapped expensive furniture, detached custom light fixtures, and removed framed artwork from the walls with practiced precision. "What do you think you're doing?" Ethan demanded as he hurried toward the crew, but Olivia calmly handed him a binder containing purchase receipts, bank statements, supplier contracts, and insurance records, proving that every major furnishing and decorative feature had been bought entirely with her own earnings. His hands trembled while turning the pages because every document carried dates, signatures, and payment confirmations that left no room for misunderstanding or denial. Vanessa watched in disbelief as the elegant dining table disappeared through the front door, followed by the velvet sofas, designer rugs, antique mirrors, and carefully restored cabinets that had impressed her only the day before. The beautiful villa slowly revealed the neglected structure hidden beneath Olivia's years of work, exposing faded paint, worn flooring, and empty spaces that no longer resembled the luxurious home Vanessa had imagined. Ethan pleaded with Olivia to leave at least a few essential pieces behind, insisting that removing everything was unnecessary. But she reminded him that she was simply exercising the legal rights both of them had agreed to respect from the very beginning. Without raising her voice or showing anger, she thanked the movers for their professionalism while they completed the inventory exactly as instructed, ensuring every item was documented before leaving the property. As the final truck pulled away from the villa just before sunset, Olivia looked back one last time, not with bitterness, but with quiet satisfaction, because she had reclaimed the results of years of honest effort instead of allowing someone else to take credit for them. Ethan and Vanessa stood silently in the echoing entrance hall, surrounded by bare walls and empty rooms, finally realizing that genuine beauty had never belonged to the house alone, but to the person whose vision had brought it to life. During the weeks that followed, the once admired villa lost its charm, as every empty corner reminded Ethan of how much Olivia had quietly contributed without ever asking for recognition or praise. Vanessa, who had imagined moving into a luxurious dream home, found herself growing increasingly frustrated with the outdated rooms, uncomfortable furniture, and endless repairs that suddenly demanded both time and money. "I thought you said this place was practically perfect," Vanessa complained one evening, while staring at the peeling wallpaper and aging kitchen cabinets that had been hidden beneath Olivia's elegant designs for years. Ethan struggled to answer because, for the first time, he was forced to admit that he had never truly appreciated the countless hours of planning, creativity, and sacrifice that had transformed the old villa into something extraordinary. Meanwhile, Olivia settled into a modern apartment overlooking the river, where she carefully arranged a fresh collection of furniture and artwork that reflected the new chapter of her life, instead of memories she wanted to leave behind forever. Her design studio quickly attracted prestigious clients after several magazines featured her remarkable renovation projects, and her reputation grew stronger than it had ever been during her marriage. One afternoon, Olivia received an invitation to speak at a national interior design conference, where successful architects and designers gathered to share their most inspiring professional journeys and creative achievements. Standing before hundreds of attendees, she spoke not about heartbreak, but about resilience, explaining that every challenge could become the foundation for something even more meaningful when people refused to give up on themselves. Back at the villa, financial pressure and constant disagreements slowly destroyed Ethan and Vanessa's relationship as unexpected maintenance costs continued to pile up, while the house became increasingly difficult to manage. The admiration that had once brought them together gradually disappeared, replaced by resentment and disappointment as they realized that appearances alone could never build a lasting future. Late one evening, Ethan finally gathered the courage to call Olivia, apologizing sincerely for taking her love, talent, and unwavering support for granted throughout their marriage, and admitting that he now understood the true value of everything she had done. Olivia listened respectfully before thanking him for the apology, wishing him peace for the future, and ending the conversation with a quiet smile because she no longer needed closure from someone who had already become part of her past. Several months passed, and Olivia's design firm became one of the most sought-after studios in the region after she completed a breathtaking restoration of a century-old boutique hotel that attracted attention from national magazines and television programs. Every new project reminded her that the confidence she had once invested in saving a struggling marriage was far better spent building a future that reflected her own dreams and ambitions. One afternoon, while attending a charity gala hosted by local business leaders, Olivia met Daniel Carter, an experienced landscape architect whose quiet confidence and genuine kindness immediately stood out from the crowd. Instead of being impressed by her professional success alone, Daniel admired her determination, creativity, and the compassion she showed toward young designers hoping to build successful careers of their own. As Olivia and Daniel spent more time together, they discovered a shared passion for restoring forgotten places and creating beautiful spaces that brought people comfort, inspiration, and joy rather than simply chasing luxury or recognition. Their relationship grew naturally through honesty, mutual respect, and countless conversations about life, proving to Olivia that real partnership was built on trust instead of empty promises. Meanwhile, Ethan finally accepted that no renovation could repair the consequences of his own decisions, and he quietly sold the aging villa to a family eager to restore it with their own vision for the future. Watching another moving truck pull away from the property, he realized that he had lost far more than elegant furniture or beautiful rooms, because he had carelessly thrown away the person who had believed in him when no one else did. A year after the divorce, Olivia stood inside the grand opening of her newly expanded design headquarters, surrounded by loyal employees, grateful clients, and friends who had supported her through every difficult chapter of her journey. Looking around the bright, welcoming space, she understood that true success was never measured by the size of a house or the price of its decorations, but by the strength to rebuild life with integrity after disappointment. As the evening celebration came to an end, Daniel quietly handed Olivia a small framed sketch of the very first room they had designed together, reminding her that every meaningful beginning starts with the courage to leave behind what no longer belongs in your life. Olivia smiled as she placed the drawing on her office wall, knowing that the most beautiful masterpiece she had ever created was not a building at all, but the peaceful, fulfilling life she had chosen for herself